So, my brother Omega, great elder even.
I'm
It is. Humble.
Yeah,
You
humble.
might agree, elder, you know. It is said that there is enough misconception that the individual called Osar or Osiris existed. I say this because when you read historians like Diodorus and Herodotus, they speak about Osiris as in that the Ethiopians established Egypt as a colony with Osiris as its leader.
Okay.
You will also see depictions of Osiris on the wall as a man, sit down on a throne. Okay. And as a result, and even lastly, I will say that the Egyptologists had even said that they came across the tomb of Osiris.
Okay.
Now, for those people who practice or understand Osiris as a spiritual concept, right, to now embrace the fact that he possibly could have existed as an individual and probably later on mythologized, that changes everything completely.
No, okay.
What do you have to say about
Okay,
that? Is Osiris a real person?
The answer is no. Let me answer your question direct. Is Osiris a real person? The answer is no. Now, let us look at, first of all, Osiris is a name or a word coined and penned by Europeans.
So the word is Osar.
The word is Ausar. Ausar. Okay? Now, we must understand, if we take a little time to just understand zero, which is the source or the roots of the tree of life. As I told you early on, that the tree of life, by the way, the name tree of life is a name the Jews gave the system. The actual name is the pot, P-A-U-T, Neteru. That is the name. That system is a system that was born in Africa. It was actually 7 countries, seven African countries that is responsible for that system. Between 7 and 6 countries responsible for that system. Okay?
Okay, let me stop you there. Why do we have to go to the Port Neteru to understand that Osiris is not a real person?
Okay. Because Osiris,
Osir. I just use Osiris so the listeners can relate. Yeah.
Osir is the reason for the Port Neteru. The very reason for the Port Neteru is Osir. Because the reason I say so, one is because all are. One is that one could be Ma'at, could be Herukuti, could be Heru. One is because all are, and that all is Osir. Okay? The unity or the unifying role of the Port Neteru. Okay? All the gods, the whole formation or the structure, okay, of the Neterus are all in tune with one, and that is Osir. Now, Osir comes out of Amen. In my own simple terms, Osir comes out of Amen. Osir, which is a word that is associated with the Supreme Being. A word, it is not a name, it is a word associated with the Supreme Being. The Supreme Being comes into the world under that word, Osir, and chooses the center the very center of creation, or the center of man's spirit, as its seat of consciousness and identity. Seat of consciousness and identity. That's Ose. Now, God dwelling in man's spirit. When I say God dwelling in man's spirit, I mean God dwelling in the first sphere, or God dwelling in the center of man's spirit, is called Ose. Now, Ose now is a metaphysical entity, not a being. Let me repeat that again. Ose, a metaphysical entity, not a being, because for something to become a being, it must go through consciousness, will, energy, matter.
And energy matter.
And that process goes
Through the womb.
Through the womb. A man and a woman coming together. Okay? Ose did not go through, it did not go through a physical womb. Physical in terms of man and woman coming together. So it is not a being. It's a metaphysical entity. Okay? And there is so much more to it.
But
you understand?
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, that's basically what it is.
So the whole myth of Ausar and Oset, while it might look like it's something that actually transpired.
Yeah, it's the word myth again. It's an incorrect word. It is better to use metaphorin. That's a much better word instead of myth, because you see, the people who try to mislead you, anything they don't understand, they call it myth. Okay? Because they don't understand it. But we, blacks, those of us who have evolved, and those of us who are on the path, on that path, who are aware or who have become spiritually awakened, we know that when you speak about Ose, you're speaking about the metaphorin of Ose, and that metaphorin can be looked at in more than one way. It has a lot to do with your life, okay? You taking control of your life. And it also has to do with the world, everything around you. Okay, so it's basically, there's more than one way of looking at it. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay?
So the metaphorin where Isis, where Oset and Hero is involved.
Yeah.
Again, that's still a metaphysical concept.
Metaphysical concept.
Giving it personification as a being to try to make us understand it more.
Right. Now you have to understand in the metaphorin of Ose, what happens in the metaphorin? Ose, wait for me. Ose, the Kemetic king, who comes to teach Kemet first and foremost about the pot Neteru.
So when you say it like that,
yeah,
Omega, it sounds like it's an individual that come and teach.
Yeah, I understand. But you see, when I say teach, I'm really saying that a system, okay, a system that was conceived, okay, by Africans, but the system has a name. There's a name to the system. You understand? All right. So now
that same system will teach you to elevate your consciousness.
Exactly. That's the whole point. You understand? Yeah. So the Kemetic king, who teaches, or the system that tells you, okay, what the two parts of being, what it is all about, your path to, or your trod to divinity, you evolving to the highest sphere of your spirit, and again helping you understand even more how to live a life that would cause you to become one with the universe, you and the universe. You becoming one with all things, because that's basically what it is. You becoming one with all things.
Because we are an extension of all things.
Exactly. Now, if you take time and you study the Tree of Life, there's that book called the Tree of Life. You'd understand that there are four basic principles, four basic reasons for God creating the world. Four.
But before we go down there, so if the Kemetic king, right, is sat on the throne and basically teaching people to raise the consciousness, which is symbolic of the system,
right?
What therefore would you term individuals or deities such as Set and Isis and Heru and these things there?
Okay,
Since you already gave
yeah,
Ausar a certain specific role like
okay.
that.
Let me go back to the top, and then I will come down. All right.
But wait, because the metaphorin I'm speaking about is the metaphorin known by many people.
Right.
In that Osiris was king, and then his brother Set came and killed him, chopping them in 14 pieces, and bees, and you know, go and look for the pieces.
Yeah, all that is a story
Yes.
of the same metaphorin we're talking about.
Yes.
Right. So now, it is said that the 14 pieces were scattered all over the land.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's only one piece they could not find was the
phallus.
The phallus. Okay. Now, the metaphorin goes on to say that, you know, his wife, who is Oset, which is another metaphysical entity.
Okay.
That's the last sphere of the tree of life in the Sahu division, the 5th division. His wife, Oset, who collected all the pieces, reassembled or remembered. That's where the word memory comes from. Yeah. Reassembled all the pieces, and then she had intercourse with her husband. Okay, giving birth to Haru. Now that Haru is really the will, giving birth to the will of man. Oset and Ose sexually involved, giving birth to the will of man, called Haru. Okay?
So in that term, Ose would be what, and Oset would be what? Since we have established that Heru is the will, what would be Oset and what would be Ausar?
Okay, what would be in terms of, I am not really.
Okay, since you call Heru the will,
right?
What is Osiris then?
Osiris is the son, the son of God, or the divine dwelling within. Okay. That term is a better term. Okay, the divine dwelling within, or the divine dwelling in the subconscious. So the divine dwelling in the subconscious.
So at the time of the divine dwelling in the subconscious, will is not yet present. If it's
no. I'm saying to you that we're speaking about. I'm going according to the question you asked me.
Yeah, is the story we're going by?
Yeah, we're going by the story. You're saying that the union between Ose and Oset.
Yeah.
Okay. Before all of this, there's no separation in time period. You know, all of this is happening. All of this is happening simultaneously because the plan of creation is very simple to understand. As I have told you before, from zero, which is Amen, the source of creation, to free, that is the divine faculties. The divine faculties. 0 to 3. And then from 1 to 9, no, sorry, from 4 to 9 is called the numental plane, which is the same metaphysical entities. That is
as 0 to 3.
As 0 to 3. Same mythical, because you see, these are the forms by which the creator came into the world. This is the creator we're talking about, you know. This is not no cock and bull story. The forms by which the creator came into the world is the numental plane. Okay, and under the numental plane, then we have the physical of phenomenal, which is the plane of effects. That's Geb 10. Okay, right. So once you understand that, once you understand the divine divisions coming first, the numental plane following, and then the plane which is responsible for physical action or all physical activity. Okay, 1 and 0, 10. Okay, or the effects. Once you understand that, you get the whole picture of creation. Now again, this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint for the universe. The blueprint for all of the universe. That's how it is. And that's what it is. But to say Ose is a being, no. Ose is not a being. Just like I would tell you that the oracles There are modern oracles, but I will just use one oracle. The oracle called the Metunete. That's not a being.
But they're saying that they had women that were oracles back in the day. The women that you could go to for, I don't know, divine guidance or some kind of...
Or women that are in touch with oracles. Yes. Yes.
So the oracle is basically a medium then?
No,
it's a tool, is something you
use. The oracles are forces. Forces that act. Forces acting on behalf of the Supreme Being. Forces. This is still not beings. Forces. A power. You understand? It's like saying, let me get an oracle is not a man or a woman or anything like that. It's just a spiritual agent, a spiritual agency, an ambassador for the Creator. Like you'd say, St.Lucia as an ambassador in London, or St.Lucia as an ambassador, the Creator. And the word ambassador can be used in that sense. An oracle is an ambassador for the Creator that does the work of the Creator. You understand? So that's and when you speak about oracles now, you're speaking about Tehudi, because Tehudi is responsible for oracles. Yeah, you understand? Now oracles, a lot of people don't use oracles, but if we were using oracles, our life would be much better. If we were using oracles, because if you cannot yet speak with the oracle direct, because that's something that we can do. All of us, it is in us to do it. If you cannot do it, then you have to go to somebody
to do it for you.
To do it for you on your behalf. You understand what I'm saying, my brother? You have to go to somebody to do it.
But there are methods and...
Yeah, there are methods.
But isn't speaking to them oracles what some would actually call voodoo or obia?
Don't even say that too loud, my brother. Because I'm certainly sure, if I have to tell you functions, especially the Metunete oracle, you cannot have the word Metunete if it's not Tehudi, if it was not Tehudi that spoke that word, the intelligence or the faculty division, because the Metunete comes from that division. Tehudi speaking, the mouthpiece. You understand? Okay?